every role of the ensemble because you can go in at any time for anybody on any given day.
Pati blocking dapat
Pati
alam mo.
blocking, choreography, costume changes, entrances, exits. That's a cool job to have. I want that job. Because it's a mental challenge. Kung hindi ka mabuang, ewan ko na. You know? It can drive you insane. But can you imagine the mental challenge of it? It's delicious, isn't it? It's wow, parang sarap na, no? Because if you're only doing one role, then you have to find ways and means to keep you from getting bored.
How many months did you before you felt that the role that you really fit in to the role?
I felt that I hit my stride. I think it was 9 months into it.
9 months.
9 months. That's when I felt vocally healthy. And well, it was summertime, so it was warmer. I was happier. And I think, and I had already won my Olivier. So parang the pressure's off. I can just do my job.
How do you get into character?
After 9 months doing it, you just pop into it, just like that. But when you're starting out, you have to figure out, and I had no roadmap. I had no clue how to get into character. Easiest answers you just do. You just tried, I guess, to find stuff that happens in your life to compare or relate.
First, all throughout, to figure out who this person is.
You do.
And then you try to compare.
You look at a script. Magbasa ka ng script from cover to cover, reading it like a book. And then later on, you get more and more specific. You start to, talagang kailangang suriin talaga every line to figure out who this person is. And I was very ang daming nagbigay sa akin ng impormasyon when I did Miss Saigon. Ang daming nagbigay ng, like, you have the producer, the composer, the lyricist, my mother at some points. Kasi when I was in that show, ang daming hindi ko alam about life. I was very sheltered. Wala akong alam sa pag-ibig. Wala akong alam sa pag-ibig. She was a prostitute pala. And I'm like, what? And I didn't know anything about this. So, paano ko gagawin to? Hindi nga ako nagka-boyfriend, maghalik akong tita. I have to do this.
Yeah, how did that go? How did that go?
Not very well the first time, but after a while, the director actually had to demonstrate what I had to do. And it's a guy.
Pinalikan niya yung guy?
No, but there was a scene kasi that parang nasa kama. There's a moving bed.
Right.
You know? There's a moving bed, and so this bed moves. And I'm supposed to be on the bed after having had sex. I didn't know what that was. I'm just like sitting there. I'm just nakaupo na ako dun. So the director said, alis ka nga dyan. Alis ka dyan. He got on the bed. And so told the pianist, play. Demonstrated what he wanted me to do.
Oh my God.
It was awesome. Great. Great. And then finally, then I'm like, oh.
Okay.
After that, okay, this is what it's about. Okay. And then my leading man was the sweetest, darlingest. I could not have been more lucky. Napakaswerte ko talaga sa naging kapartner ko. Kasi, Simon Bowman, he was like, trust me. Just trust me. I will take care of you. Don't worry about anything. Just trust me. And it's important when, for example, if you're doing a duet with somebody, if you're doing a duet, and any one of you could find yourself singing face-to-face with Yolo Pascual or with Sara Geronimo, there has to be mutual trust. Kesyo baguhan ka, kesyo, this person's been in this business forever. It doesn't matter. This is your job. There has to be mutual respect and trust, regardless of who you're singing with. Kailangan yun eh. Kasi minsan, you'll have a partner who will solo fly.
Bahala ka dyan.
Bahala ka dyan sa buhay mo. And it's awful. I've had to perform with Chris's who don't look me in the eye. They look parang beside my head. And
Obliquely or something, no?
Yeah, parang hindi
Walang
hindi
contact,
tumatama.
oo.
There's no contact.
Oo.
So I'm like, you know, and it's
How many musicals have you done?
all in all.
Yeah.
No, no. I'm still young. Pwede ba? I've done The King and I, Fiddler, Annie, Sound of Music. They're playing our song.
Let me see.
Les Mis, Saigon. Les Mis, Saigon, Les Mis, Saigon, Les Mis, Saigon. Enough times. There, about maybe 10.
What was your
15.
favorite?
Oh. Iba-iba. Iba-iba.
Well, top three.
Miss Saigon, of course. I got my biggest
Baptism of
break
Fire
there.
mo yun,
Baptism of Fire. And it'll always be special kasi na-recognize din ng mga Pilipino bilang mga artists
Right.
na hindi lang chambermaids or chauffeurs or waiters or anything. Na parang, uy, it was the first time. And I remember there being so much support from OPM, from Organization ng Pilipino
Right,
Mga Awit. I remember there being so much support. Because Celeste Legaspi who told me about the auditions in the first place
Right,
for Saigon. And there was so much support from so many different Filipino singers and other artists when we were leaving na our prayers are with you. We were, parang we were sent off with so much love and with so much hope, you know, and we didn't want to let anybody down, and hopefully we didn't. We felt a responsibility, but at the same time, we felt that it was an opportunity that we had to seize.
Yeah.
Na napakalaking pagkakataon ito. Hindi lang para sa amin bilang individual artists, kundi bilang para sa
May
lahat ng
national
mga
ano, di ba?
Pilipino. There's national pride
Right.
involved
Yeah.
and national responsibility
Parang ang Manny Pacquiao.
that all of us still carry.
Yeah.
And we're all very conscious pa rin of it. Na ang pagtingin sa amin ng pangkaraniwang tao, ng kahit na sinong tao, matingkad. Na parang iba yung respeto.
Did you feel that?
It's different.
Did you feel that because the cast was Filipino, they actually made a big deal about Filipino singers now when you got to London?
Yeah.
Parang
They did.
they're so talented. This race is so talented and all of that, di ba?
Yeah, and so when they cast the show in New York, karamihan sa mga naging kasama ko doon, Pilipino rin. I mean, you'll have Japanese, you'll have Korean, but for the most part, marami pa rin, majority pa rin Filipino.
Even in Germany, di ba? In Stockholm,
Germany,
Filipino.
Amsterdam,
Yeah, Filipino mga ano.
well, obviously here in the Philippines,
Oh.
was, you know, mostly Filipino rin. But yeah,
What are your ano? Okay,
that's my number one. I still have
okay.
two more to
Oh yeah,
name.
that's right.
Les Mis.
Let me see.
Les Mis is the second one. Because I had to prove something else naman. It was my merit as an artist that was, for me, on the line. Na parang, I wanted to prove that it was a role that conventionally, laging pumupunta sa puti. I wanted to prove na, oh, Pilipino nga ako. Kaya kong gawin yun. Makakaya ko yun at magaling ako. So in my mind, of course, I'm psyching myself up for all of this. Telling myself, I have something to prove, if not for anybody else, just for myself, that
Right.
I can do this. And so I was obsessed with learning the songs for this. I listened to that cast recording like anything. I didn't do anything else. I just listened to that cast recording to make sure that I had my notes down, that I had the lyrics down, that I had everything, so that by the time I got to the musical director who had to teach me, I
Wala na
knew
siyang
what I
maturo.
had. I knew the show like the back of my hand by then. So he's like, "What else do I have to teach you?" And it made his job easier.
Yeah.
So I went in because I wanted it so bad. I wanted it so bad.
You auditioned for it also, no?
I didn't have to. I
Oh,
was
they
just
did.
offered.
Oh, okay.
But I was dropping hints the whole time I was in Miss Saigon that I wanted to do Les Mis. I want to do Les Mis. I'd love to do Eponine in Les Mis. I'd love to do Eponine in Les Mis. Whenever I could, I dropped the hint, and I think somebody heard me finally. And when I finally did the show in opening night, I was like, okay, I cannot mess up at all. I have to be perfect tonight. So I prayed and I prayed hard. I made sure I was well rehearsed. I made sure that every note that came out of my mouth was right and sounded good, and I knew my blocking, and I was ready for that night. And when I got out there, I was like, okay. When I got my standing ovation, I felt, I did it, I did it, I did it. Now I have to do this again tomorrow. And then the next day, and then the next day. But it was